I just built out a full tracking dashboard for my clients in the info product industry. And pretty much in this video, I'm just going to be breaking down how I built it out with AI, what you guys need to be tracking, and you guys can actually just look at the one I've built out so you guys can possibly copy me. It's fairly simple. I'll be honest with you. I probably could have built this tracking dashboard out drunk. That's how easy it is with AI. And I'll be honest with you, like very, very simple. One of the easiest things I've done. I remember when I first set up my first Airtable dashboard, if any of you guys know what that is, literally took me probably a week to figure that shit out. Super complicated stuff, and I just wasn't built for it, especially the first time using that platform. Took me a long time. With this, literally 5 hours after I set up Claude Code, I had pretty much the whole thing set up. Probably even shorter. I think I spent an hour actually setting up Claude Code, which is the most confusing part. After that was done, I was pretty much sorted and it was pretty easy. So once you guys figure out how to actually use Claude Code, how to get it set up on your computer, jump back to this video if you don't know how to use it already. But that being said, let's get straight into it. So I want to show you guys first of all what this actually looks like in terms of like what you guys should be tracking. Because obviously we can tell you, oh, this is how I built it up, but if you don't know what to track, it's not going to make a difference in your lives. So in simple terms, this is kind of what ours looks like, the one I've built for my company. Probably going to make a few edits. It's super simple to make edits, which is the cool thing. I'm going to probably change the design and all those different types of things. But this is pretty much just looking at it from front end view. So CEO overview is the thing you're going to be looking at most of the time, if that makes sense. So we've got our cash collected, obviously remaining to collect. So let's say we have a goal for 500K for the month. Let's say at halfway through the month, you still have X amount to collect, whatever it may be. It's just to show us our goal and what we're trying to collect. Projected cash. So let's say you are on, let's say your goal is 500K and you're midway through the month on the 15th and you have collected 200K. You're probably behind, so it's going to tell you percentage based on what are you actually projected to make in that month. Does that make sense? So let's say you do 200 in 15 days out of the month. You're going to probably do 400 at the end of the month. That's kind of just what it's calculating over there. Super cool metric I like to look at. But yeah, not too complicated stuff. Anyways, from there, we just got ROAS, close rates, show rates, cash pacing, revenue generated, calls booked, deals closed, and remaining days left in the month. On here, I can see my dating breakdown. So on the date, calls booked, calls taken, show rate, close rate, cash collected, revenue generated. The main things I want to look at inside the business is just right there on the CEO overview. So very, very simple. I'm not getting into the nitty gritty stuff. For example, if I'm not available the whole day and let's say I don't even communicate with the team for a day, I can just look at that at the end of the day and be like, okay, this is what we did today. This is the problems. This is, maybe there was a problem here. Show rate was a bit low today. What happened here? Ask some people around and we'll see what happens. So it's kind of like just a very easy tool to use as well and just kind of get feedback. For example, if I go to the US and we have a client in Australia, obviously the time zones are kind of cooked. So let's say I'm in the US, I can just look at this when I wake up, when they're going to bed, and be like, okay, this is what happens for the day. Super cool. Anyways, I'm yapping. Let's move on to week over week performance. This is a big thing for us, especially since we do weekly performance reviews with our clients. So every single week at the end of the week, we will do a performance review and kind of just see what happened last week. What is our goal for this week? How do we achieve that goal? What are some things we need to fix? What's the plan for the week actually? So we can actually go into the week with intention. And it's not just like, the week starting Monday, let's get making some money. No, we actually have intention going in. And the way we do that is by looking at the metrics. And the way we do that is by literally just breaking every single thing down inside of a week over week performance. So you guys can see, we see total bookings, taking calls, show rate, close rate, deals closed, cash collected, cash per call. We get closer breakdown, we get dialer breakdowns, we get literally everything on the side of things, and I can filter it by weeks. On this side of things, I can see last month, 7 days, today, all that type of stuff. So I like this side of things just because it is very valuable when it comes to the week over week performance. I'm going to start using this way more often with clients, just breaking down. So weekly, I can just tick on this and go, here's the problems, here's what we're going to fix, here's what we need to do next week to improve and make more money. Super simple, but overall, I think it's a good addition to add. And the biggest thing I liked about using Claude Code for this was the fact that I literally just put in one prompt. I told them, this is what I want, this is what I want you to do, and how you do it. And it did it for me instantaneously. Super simple. I never used to have this in my tracking dashboards, and now I've added it in, which I'm super happy about. This is going to help me in the near future when we actually put this to use. So that's what that looks like. Anyways, from there, we have a sales dashboard. It's pretty simple. Total bookings, taken calls, show rate, close rate, deals closed, deals lost, canceled calls, cash collected, cash per close, delta book rate, that type of thing. Super, super simple. We have an ads dashboard as well. I'm not gonna like break everything down, but you guys can see what we have in here. ROAS, cash per shown call, cost per lead, all that type of stuff. Sales team as well, but which is pretty sick. We can see literally by every single closer, we can see what each set is doing. We can see what each dial is doing. We can see everything. So if you guys want to look at this and just see what's actually going on, it's pretty sick. I would say we can, filter people by outcomes. We can see the people we're closing. We can see what setters they came from, what closer closed them, that type of stuff. Super valuable to actually see on that side of things. Then from here, we have a leaderboard, which I added in as well, which is super, super sick. Like, I'm super happy with this. I'm going to try and pop up a screenshot of what it actually looks like. But in simple terms, it's just to incentivize the actual sales reps and be like, okay, this guy's making more money than you this month, and this is the reason why. And here's how you're going to make more money. In simple terms, all it is just a leaderboard. So it's going to have first place, last place, third place, however many reps on the team, but it's going to pretty much just show first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, how many reps on the team. And it's going to show you who's making the most money depending on their role. So for closers, we'll see who's the closer collecting the most cash and making the most money. For setters, we'll see one for the setters on that side of things, who's making the most cash as well. And then for dialers as well, we'll see the exact same thing. So I like this. It's a super cool addition to the thing that I think is going to make us a lot more money, because when you have good and motivated reps, you make more money. Super simple on that sort of things. Anyways, that being said, that's kind of just a full breakdown on everything we have going. Yes, it is a work in progress. There's a lot of things that I need to still add to this. There's a lot of things I'm going to probably just work on as we move forward. But the nice thing about using Claude Code for this was the fact that it was so easy to set up, and I can literally change everything in the instant, like within a click of a button. So I don't know if yeah, maybe I'll show you guys. This might be a bit confusing. Yeah, it definitely is too confusing. Anyways, so that was Claude Code. If you guys didn't know, that's what it kind of looks like. It's literally just typing in some stuff. But anyways, so you get into Claude Code and you're like, how the fuck do I build this shit out, Michael? Okay, so it's not as complicated as you think it is. It's pretty simple. Number one piece of advice for you is know what you want. So I didn't come into this thinking, oh, I have no clue what I want. I don't know how to build this shit out. And I'm super, super confused. I knew exactly what I wanted to build out because I have previous dashboards that I just referenced from, and I knew the metrics I needed to track. So I knew exactly what I wanted to build out, and I just told it to do it. I mean, literally, it probably took me 4 hours. So I went in with a game plan. I went on to, I think I went on to Gemini. I think it's the best software for recording your voice, at least. Anyways, I went into Gemini, just recorded probably a 10-minute voice note breaking down one of the actual, what do you call it now? Tracking dashboards we have for one of our other clients that's built through Looker Studios. I went through that and I said, okay, I want to break down everything inside of this. Can you make me a dashboard that looks exactly like this, has all these metrics, kind of looks like this? And I explained it in detail. It probably took me 10 minutes just to make that whole voice note. I threw that whole set of information into Claude and I started out with that. That's the first thing I did. So I told it, I want to build out a dashboard. This is what I want inside of it. I went in with intention. I told it, this is how I want it to look. This is the stages I wanted. So you guys can see over here, if I just make this a bit smaller, but if you guys can see here, like this is all separate. This is intentionally separate on the side here. There's intentionally last month, this month, 30 days, today. There's intentionally commission rates. There's intentionally changing dates. For here on the sales team side of things, there's intentionally filters. So these types of things that I'm breaking down may look unintentional and may just look like, oh, they're there. But that's the detail you have to go to with AI. Unfortunately, you can't just say, oh, make me a tracking dashboard and it does it for you. And you don't have to put any input in it. I actually had to sit down, figure out, okay, what I want in this dashboard. And from there, it was like super simple. Obviously, you have to build on things. So that's the main idea. So kind of got a baseline and I was like, okay, doesn't look great. Maybe there's a few things here. So first thing I started with was just getting the main structure out. So what do I want here? How do I change this? What do I do this? And it is literally as simple as explaining to the Claude Code what you want, and it does it for you. Like that's how simple it is. You just say, I want to change this to this and this to this, and it does it for you within a minute or two. Yes, you have to have Claude Pro, but it's $30. Don't be a cheap ass. It's $30 and it's gonna make you a shit ton of money. Anyways, that being said, the biggest thing here is literally just be intentional with what you want to create, know what you want to create, and then just tell it to do it. So that's the first thing. Once I kind of got the main structure down, obviously I started playing around with the aesthetics of it. Not too complicated whatsoever. So once I'd built out the dashboard, now I had to figure out how to actually route the information to it. So in simple terms, with our clients, we use softwares called Tally, Typeform and Google Forms for EODs and stuff like that. So we have an EOD for our post call forms when closers actually fill out their post call form. So at the end of each call, we ask questions just to figure out how the call went. It's for tracking purposes. It literally is for that. So at the end of the call, they fill that out. EODs for dialers, EODs for setters, EODs for ads people. We have all those things set out. So either it's on Tally, Typeform, whatever it may be. So those now are linked to a what do you call them? Google Sheet. Okay, so every time someone fills out an application, either it's a closer, dialer, whatever it may be, it will get routed into that specific Google Sheet. That Google Sheet is now connected to the Claude Code. I connected it through Claude Code. It was literally as simple as pasting the link into it, setting the access to anyone who has the link can edit it, and that's as simple as that. Like I literally just pasted the link in. That's how easy it is to do. I didn't do anything. I told it, I want to connect my Google Sheet. Can you do this for me? It understood what I wanted to do because I'd been playing with it for an hour. And then I pasted in the link and it fucking did it for me. I was honestly very, very surprised on how cool that shit was. But that's to the extent of how easy this is. I literally just pasted the link in. So I went into Tally in simple terms, connected the Tally submissions with a Google Sheet. The Google Sheet was created from Tally, so I didn't actually need to create anything. I set the view to anyone who has the link and edit it. Did that, sent it to Claude Code. Claude Code literally just said, okay, perfect. I tested it out on a different dashboard and it's working. So it's pretty sick. And now I'm going to publish it live so my team can actually see that. I'll show you guys what it actually looks like. So I can do that. You guys can't see me or the dashboard at least. Anyways, this is what the Claude Code looks like. This might look complicated, but this is literally just it's kind of making sure all the metrics look good on that side of things. So you guys can see everything looks good. So now should be fully functioning. Yes, should be fully functioning, but your team cannot see it. How to actually make it functioning? Go to netlifefee.com and sign up for free. Perfect. So it's literally telling me how to do it, and then it's going to do it for me, if that makes sense, which I find pretty cool. So I'm pretty impressed with this side of things. Honestly, it's like fairly simple. The main idea here is just going with what you want to build. So know what you want to build. Don't be super vague. I knew exactly what I wanted to build. I told it what I wanted and it created it for me. Yes, there's going to be mistakes. Yes, you're going to have to play around with it, but it's super easy compared to anything else on the market. And yeah, I think it's fairly easy to set up. I think it's fairly easy to get anything connected. And what I'm probably going to do as well now is connect my funnel metrics as well to this, which is going to be pretty cool. So daily, on the daily, I'm just going to set up probably like a Zapier automation where at the end of the day, it's going to send the metrics to Claude Code so I can put it into the thing so no one has to fill out an EOD, and just do a bunch of small things that I think are pretty sick with this. I mean, I've seen a bunch of people build out like tracking softwares for client fulfillment so they can see at the end of each day what the client did, or at the end of each week what the client did, and what's the progress looking like, that type of thing. You can even build a full CRM in Claude Code, which is pretty sick. I don't want to yap for too long. I'm probably going to bore you guys, but that's my AI dashboard with Claude Code. It is pretty fucking cool. I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm going to tinker around with this thing for probably the next 2 or 3 days. Just get it perfect. And yeah, I think it's pretty simple. If you guys still have an excuse for not tracking your data and info in 2026, you're a fucking retard. I'll just be straight open and honest with you. Took me 4 hours and it's pretty much functioning. Yes, there's a few things I need to fix and make look better, and things I want to just change because of personal preference. But if I wanted to put this in action right now, I could put it in action right now and it wouldn't have any sort of hiccups, which is pretty fucking cool. I'm pretty impressed with it. The fact that you can just talk to it and it does it for you is pretty cool. So that being said, if you want me to build one of these out for you and you actually want to work with my company, because obviously we track this type of stuff for you, we do the marketing, we do the sales systems. Obviously tracking is involved with that so we can scale up the business. But if you want to work with my company and work with me as one of my clients and just have a chat with me, even just booking a call, to see if this is a possibility, there's going to be a link in the description for you to do that. If you don't want to book in a call and you just want to message me, there's going to be a link in the description as well for my Instagram if you just want to shoot over a message and, I don't know, have a chat. But either way, yeah, do what you want to do. But yeah, AI is fucking cool and I'm not going to stop playing with it. So yeah.